Sorry. As far as impactful as that fucking scene was, that was pretty damn funny. You don't have to shout, I can hear you! Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with another episode of Jujutsu Kaisen. We are in Season 2. How far are we? We're on episode 18, so what, 5 from the end. Gotta believe there's gonna be a Season 3 coming along some point, so I do not believe that we are actually anywhere close to the end of Jujutsu Kaisen. I feel like, I don't know what the author's intent here is, but I feel like this show could easily pull at least a Bleach, which is to say, pretty long running, if not close to as long as its compatriots. But before anything else, we do have a comment from Alex V9, of course, who you gotta believe is in the audience. So, from the episode Hidden Inventory, which is the first episode of Season 2. Hi, Theta. As you mentioned in the last episode, here is a breakdown of how Megumi's technique works. Now, I believe what Alex V9 here is doing is something very confusing to everyone involved, where I believe what they're referring to is the last streamed episode, but are leaving a comment in the last uploaded, the last released video, which is going to make little sense to be fair, very small audience on my channel, so very, not gonna make a lot of sense to the other couple of people while reading the comments in the videos, but, the 10 Shadows technique, steps of the taming ritual. 1. Upon awakening the technique, the user receives the first Shikigami, Divine Dogs, for free use. 2. The user has to summon the next Shikigami it wants to tame. 3. The user has to exercise/kill the Shikigami to tame it, so that it belongs to the user. Which, yeah, I mean, I believe that's what Megumi talked about, last episode, right at the beginning, when he was describing the fight between one of Gojo's ancestors and one of his ancestors, basically killing each other in a fight that they summoned the unkillable Shikigami. Notes. The summoning of the Shikigami for the taming ritual does not have an order. The Shikigami called to tame depends on the discretion of the user. For the taming duel to work, the user has to defeat the Shikigami without participants or external interference from other people or cursed spirits. Does that mean that Megumi has to defeat it without his other Shikigami? Alright. The user, never mind, I should just keep reading, stop interfering with this process. You've got a process that you've written these out in. The user can use the Shikigami at his disposal as they are part of his arsenal. Answering my question that I shouldn't have asked in the first place. The user can force the participation of other people in the ritual. How does that work? I'm sorry, I'm asking questions. Literally, your next one's probably going to deal with it. If there is participation or interference from seconds or third parties, the taming ritual will be nullified, and even if the Shikigami is defeated, it will not be obtained as part of the user's arsenal. If the user dies before the participants, his body will remain in a state of suspended animation, and therefore his death, until the participants have died as well. While the Shikigami is not tamed and it doesn't belong to the user, it cannot truly die upon being defeated. This in the case of external participation. If the Shikigami belongs to the user, upon death it cannot return and will be permanently lost. However, its essence will be transmitted to the other Shikigami, giving them characteristics of the dead Shikigami. The user can combine/use the essence of 2 or more Shikigami at will, and likewise separate them. However, this option requires precise manipulation and understanding of the technique and their own cursed energy. Side note, it is unclear what will happen if to the technique if all 10 Shikigami are eliminated, but one of two things can happen. Either the user permanently loses the summoning part of the technique, but can still use the rest of the abilities that come with the technique, like the Shadow Inventory, or the technique is reset and the user has to perform the taming rituals again. Sorry, just thinking. I don't know. I don't recall you mentioning this. If there's an element of being able to transfer the powers of the Shikigami that you've tamed to Shikigami that you haven't tamed. Like, say Megumi, all of his tamed Shikigami died. Could he transfer those powers to the untamed Shikigami that he was trying to take out Kuno with earlier? Because if so, he could superpower an untamed Shikigami and do exactly what he did here, which is to say, suicide pact with the person you're trying to kill. Because otherwise, what else? Where's the one? The immortality clause, I feel like. I missed it here. You said something about the fact that if the user dies before the participants, his body will remain in a state of suspended animation, and therefore his death, until the participants have died as well. Technically, I feel like you could create immortality with this. Like, obviously, you'd still be in suspended animation, but, like, if you died in a way that you feel like, cryogenics, if you feel like there's going to be a cure for this in the future, you could die in this, and then say, God, what was the place at the center of the school where the immortal guy is that is super locked off? Like, you could be that, and then one of the participants goes to that place where your Shikigami will never be able to reach them. And until what? Until that person dies of old age, you're going to be in suspended animation. So you might be able to be brought back to life eventually. I don't know. There's a loophole there. I'm sure. I'm sure there's a loophole there for immortality. List of Shikigami and description. 1. Divine dogs. A pair of dogs with high cursed energy, perception skills, and heightened senses. 2. New. A big owl-like bird with the ability to generate electrical charges. 3. Toad. A big toad which can use its tongue to mid-range attacks as well as restrain the target. 4. Serpent. A large snake which can be used to restrain the opponent. This one was eliminated by Sukuna in the prison arc. I don't actually remember. I thought it was a dog. One of the dogs died during the prison arc. Like, it literally got embedded in the wall. Anyway. 5. Max Elephant. A giant pink elephant that can generate large amounts of water from its trunk. 6. Escaping Rabbits. A massive swarm of rabbits whose main function is a distraction. 7. Not yet shown. 8. Not yet shown. 9. Not yet shown. 10. 8-handed sword divergent Celia Divine General Mahoraga. A huge humanoid-shaped Shikigami with the ability to adapt to any situation or opponent and overcome them. Final note. Previously in the series, there have been items or techniques that can counter Gojo's infinity, such as Miguel's Black Rope, which destabilized the opponent's technique, Toji's Inverted Spear of Heaven, which forced the deactivation of curse techniques, or the domain amplification used by Jogo and Hanami, which nullified any technique it came into contact with, all of which have affected or bypassed Gojo's infinity. It is possible that Mahoraga, I'm never get this name right, through an unknown similar way, was able to overcome Gojo's ancestors' infinity? I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, I just don't know. Obviously, you say that they can overcome Gojo's infinity. The only example I have of Gojo's infinity right now is Gojo using it on screen. And so far, the only things that have overcome Gojo's infinity have been the cube thing. But that's only because Gojo did a thing which like depowered his own infinity. So I guess technically in that moment anything could have gotten by him. I don't know, it's like I said, there's been no examples of these things working. We saw Gojo fight Miguel. Miguel turned into a good guy. I don't know. He clearly seemed to have lost the fight either way. Toji lost the fight too. I mean, every example that you've given, I can think of something that defeated Gojo's infinity. They lost that fight still. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just like coming at this from the angle of victory is the end result no matter what anyway. Because we know that Gojo's infinity isn't his only ability. He also has the combination of things, the 3 attacks. So technically he could still win a fight without the infinity. It's basically winning a fight with no shields. So sure. I guess. Sorry, I know I'm at the big of a rambly stage here in response to this comment. I guess there's just an element of Gojo is my reverse Superman, and I may have said this before. I love Superman. He is my favorite superhero. But I understand why people say he's not interesting, because they probably look at him the same way that I look at Gojo, which is to say, Gojo for me is not interesting because he's too strong, I guess. I don't know. He wins all the time. So I guess I just kind of need to see him back in the Toji days where Toji could kick his ass, and then he got super powerful. And anyway, I think I've said all this before, so I'm not going to go over it again. Otherwise, what are we heading into on this episode? Last episode, we went through the whole Sukuna thing. I guess Megumi is still alive. I think Sukuna intentionally put him outside the sphere of the fight so that he wouldn't die, because we keep saying that Megumi has a super badass technique. So Sukuna wants him for something. I don't understand it. Sukuna is clearly stronger than Megumi, as proven by last episode's Mob Psycho fight. Oh, lucky guy got killed. That was a bit funny. I don't remember what we're setting up to here. Oh, right, because Yuji came back. Yuji woke up from the Sukuna thing and remembered everything that he had done as Sukuna. And sorry, I don't remember what was leading up into that, except for the fact that Yuji scraping his fingernails across the pavement and ripping them out, essentially, because it's just blood marks down the pavement. And that is just sticking with me. I think I likened it to the Naruto fight, where Naruto rips his fingernails out digging through the ground. It's just, hate that. Hate that. Sorry, as I already stated, Alex V9 is in the comment section as we speak, and they're asking, following that statement, what do you think of Sukuna's strength unlike Gojo's? The difference is character, right? Gojo, I don't find to be an interesting character. He's boring. His jokes don't land for me. He's just happy, smiley. He doesn't allude to his plans. He's like Basura from Macross 7 meets Superman. Sukuna, I think, is interesting. He doesn't also allude to his plans, but he's more fun. I don't know. Like I said, there's elements of characterization at play here. So, yeah. Either way, I think I've been rambling on for a good 15 minutes now. I think it's time to go ahead and hop into the video.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
Uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
it's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
there's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Oh, the execution debate. Except that he should be executed. As I said, he should have been executed way back in the day, like when they first caught him. Oh, what's his name? God. His mom dying was the worst part. You know, something that really gets to me about Jujutsu Kaisen is I thought his grandpa was going to have like a big part of the story. Like he was going to have a secret backstory or something that was going to come into play. And I don't think we've even referenced that guy once since he died in the hospital. Also, whatever happened to fucking Chisu? I mean, not to harp on things that I was harping on already before, but Chisu just fucking wandered off. Like, where the hell is he? Is he dead? Did he get blown up with everything else? I don't think so. I would really be upset if they, like, killed people I cared about off screen and then didn't say anything about it. Like, season 3 starts with a funeral for everyone that died. Chisu. Chiso. Sorry, I'm also responding to Alex again in the comments. Again, I put these up without the comments in the videos, so it's going to be very confusing if I talk without saying I'm responding to Alex. And no, not like Ichigo's father. Like, I don't know. I have no idea what his backstory would have been. I just anticipated something of it. I feel like they were introducing him for a reason, and then they did nothing with him. Like, Yuji did not even regard his death in the hospital for all that long. He was immediately running off with Megumi. I'm just anticipating a thing, and they did nothing with it, and it's very confusing to me. Watch this be the episode where they bring him back up again, beyond the conversation bit in his head. I tend to be psychic in that way. I don't know, 9 to 5er. Where the hell are you, though? We already left, this guy's domain. Oh, flashback? Well, very much still feels like, what's his name's domain? Who's dead, so it can't be. What the hell is going on? Oh, right, he was almost dead. I forgot. I swear I forget so much shit. Oh man, he is Gus Fringed. I guess the irony is that Gus, the last thing he did was straighten his tie and then died.
マレーシア。そうだな。マレーシア。クワンタンがいい。なんでもない海辺に家を建てよう。買うだけ買って手をつけてない本が山ほどある。1ページずつ今までの時間を取り戻すようにめくるんだ。違う。私は今伏黒君を助けにマキさん、ナオビトさん、2人はどうなんだ。疲れた。
Man, I should like made a board just for the fights. Just so I can track of who's in what fight and where.
もう十分やったさ。
I guess it's good to be in a dreamscape. And even being touched in that position would hurt. I'll say this, Jujutsu Kaisen is filled with a lot of really good characters that I feel like could have used a lot more time. This is the scene that I really feel like would make me fall in love with 9 to 5. Because I'm all about last stand characters. Seriously, it gives me a lot of, actually, Gus Fring meets Jesse Pinkman from the end of Breaking Bad.
いたんですか。
いたよ。ずっとね。
Oh man, we can wander up onto this. Like, I was worried that we saw Mojito in the background, but
いたよ。ずっとね。ちょっとお話しするかい？君には何度か付き合ってもらったし。
it's not impossible Mojito could heal him, but I hope you don't fucking blow him up.
灰原、私は結局何がしたかったんだろうな。逃げたくせにやりがいなんて曖昧な理由で。
I don't even know what part of my brain is hoping that Mojito heals him. Yeah, I think we all know that's not going to happen.
ダメだ。それは違う。ダメだ、灰原。言ってはいけない。それは彼にとって呪いになる。
お、
ななみダメだだ虎杖君
It's just pausing to wait to see how Mahito's gonna fuck all of this
あ
over.
とは頼みます
Yeah, fuck. Just knew he was gonna fucking blow him up. But too late in the story for Mahito to have some sort of heartfelt twist. Very All Might moment, though. I'll say that much.
なんだお前はなんだぞわしとでけえ声出さなくても聞こえてるよ虎杖
Sorry. As far as impactful as that fucking scene was, that was pretty damn funny. You don't have to shout, I can hear you! What the fuck? You've blown through all the other guys before that have been saying save me.
多重婚抜体
Sorry, sometimes Mahito is a comedy genius. I don't give him enough credit for that.
もっと踏ん張りが効けば顔面を貫けたかな。
どうしてお前を何度も何人も人の命をもてあそぶことができるんだ
指折り数えて困り顔で殺せば満足か。次からそうするね。ペラッペラのお前にはペラッペラの答えを授けよう。虎杖裕二、助けてー。
Oh man, cheap fucking blow.
お前は俺だ。いちいち切れんなよ。呪いのたわごとだろ。
This is why I can't, like, give him credit for being a comedy genius, because he keeps pulling this shit.
そいつを認めない限りお前は俺に勝てないよ。
ペラペラとよくしゃべるな遺言か。あとは頼みます。ナナミンなら怒りで我を忘れるなんてヘマはしなかった。証明しろ。
I don't know if that how his power works, though. So of course he wouldn't.
呪術師だ。
It's a weird animation on the snake worm thing. Oh, he's got Black Flash too? She's copying. Yeah, getting kicked when you don't have this little bit of room. Totally unexpected. I don't even know how you begin to dodge when you've got no room at all. I also think we also demonstrated well before how none of this really affects Mahito at all. Sometimes I get shocked by these mid-credit rolls because it didn't feel like that much time has passed at all. Oh, come on, that breaks Terminator rules. You can't make yourself into a gun. Like I say though, this is a much improved Yuji fight than we've seen before. Like, this is a lot better than when he fought Choso, when he fought Mahito in the past. I guess he must have picked something up from Sukuna when Sukuna's fighting. Creepy as fuck. I guess this is what it would be like fighting a T-1000 in a fist fight. I mean, it's freaking amazing that he's fighting on this level, given, you know, special grades and Jujutsu sorcerers ranking against each other. Obviously, they're both fucked with. I don't even know how you fall for that trick. What the fuck? That's even creepier than the hand sword thing.
虎杖のメンタルにはこっちの方が効く。そして俺たちはもう一枚ダメ押しのカードを手に入れる。はい、飲んで飲んで飲んで飲んで飲んで飲んで飲んで飲んで飲んで飲んで。
What did he?
イエーイ。俺はもう十分ストックしたし、 下以外の人間は好きにしていいよ。じゃ、
Well, I guess this was my former plan of hiding in a corner would have gotten me killed.
ジョーが捕まえてごらん。俺は地下、お前は地上を適当に。呼んだら戻ってこいよ。言わなくても分かってるって。そりゃそうか。
Mahito is the worst of, like, body horror movie villain things. Cronenberg's. He's the worst of, like, all Cronenberg movies.
さっきの見た？やばくない？俺さっきまであの辺うろついてたんだよね。
継ぎはぎ。お前か。うちのバカにちょっかい出したっていう特級呪霊は。
参ったな。俺って有名人？
ああ、尻尾巻いて逃げたってな。
いいね。やりがいありそうじゃん。
私も今日はいいとこなしなんで。こいつの術式。
Yeah, absolutely. The last time you pulled out your hammer, you didn't use it right.
手に触れるなって話よね。せめて逃げ虫くらい払っておかないと。
Close your eyes in front of Mahito.
あの時掴んだ重力の確信を。
Also, Mahito seems like...
ノーくん。
I'd say the one guy your nails wouldn't do anything to.
かんざし。
やるね。でも基本聞かないんだよね。
Yeah, I'm saying he'll just warp around it, right?
あいつと親しいんだろうな。この女の死体を晒して虎杖裕二の魂を折る。
Oh, she fucking die? Oh, what the hell? Okay, I'll granted that that episode was so entrancing that I didn't feel the time passing at all. Like, I was expecting for us to go back to where we left off with Yuji and Mahito talking about breaking his mental state to find out if Mahito had killed her or not. Because I felt like we were on the verge of losing another character. Like, here's the thing. I feel like the run of Jujutsu Kaisen hasn't been long enough to establish, for my tastes, which characters are, what's the word I want to use here, inviolable. Like, if you said Rukia died, I'd be like, no, couldn't happen. Rukia is too important to the story of Bleach for Rukia to die, right? I can't tell if she is too important to the story of Jujutsu Kaisen to not be able to die. Because unfortunately, that's something that I don't like in a lot of shonen shows, that the knowledge that certain characters can never die because, you know, either they're the main character or whatnot. So not having that sense for her, I don't know if Mahito could just, like, lift up her dead body or, you know, have her voice come out of a thing.
心理テストだよ。はっきり思い出せるのは大好きだったあの子、大嫌いだったあいつ。結果はタイトルの後。次回リヒに昔のことばかり考えているあなたはオタクです。
I don't know what that applies to in regards to the next time on. I've never gotten that sense between Yuji and her that he's ever loved her. We know that Yuji had that former love interest from high school, I guess technically, because they brought her in earlier in the season. So I guess if Mahito captured her, he could use her against Yuji. And I guess that would make sense for what the whole point of that episode was. Because it didn't have any point, it felt like, at the time. So if they showed her back then, to then bring her up now, that would be a thing. Otherwise, who does she care about? And we have that backstory from the town, and that one girl who never got brought up again, that she used to live with in the town before that she came here to the city. So I guess she could be used against her if that comes into play, because considering we might skip a whole fight just to show how it affects Yuji. I don't know. Again, I'm kind of thrown by the fact that the episode ended without us flashing back to the Yuji fight scene or showing what happened to her, because I didn't feel like the time was moving by as fast as it was. Pretty good fight. I know that I did not have the emotional sense, or I did not have the emotional reaction that you probably see in a bunch of other reactors to 9 to 5 dying. I know I didn't really have much attachment to 9 to 5. He really only became cool in that fight against the lucky guy, where he's like, "Tell me the name of, tell me how many allies you have and where they're at," and just boom, 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 punching him over and over again. I really loved him then. Otherwise, I'm a former retail worker. He's a former 9 to 5. We meet on that level. Otherwise, I appreciate his last stand in that scene. But I guess it all came down to Mahito blowing him up, and I don't know where I got it in my head that maybe Mahito could have a change of heart and would heal him. Like, it was just like a tickling thought in the back of my head, even as I was saying he's gonna blow him up. I will also admit I do not remember who that other guy was. He looks like the guy who was talking to Geto in a scene where Geto was talking to, I'm forgetting everyone's names. Geto was talking to a woman who we know goes on to train Toto, the bicycle woman that Toto sees across the water. He looks like that guy. I don't remember anything else about that guy, though. Um, I want to say that guy was no. See, the guy I remember hanging around 95. I apologize to everyone that loves these characters and is going to have a fit when I don't remember anyone's names. 9 to 5er hangs around with the guy who wears the little cap who actually fought Toji's doppelganger thing up on the roof. That's the guy I had in my head that maybe that guy was, but obviously he is the guy from the soda conversation back when Geto was having that conversation with that woman. I don't know his connection to anything. Even if I'm imagining the board in my head, which I can remember the faces and everybody on them, I just don't have the names. I don't think I would have tied him to anybody. No, I'm not talking about. Sorry, what I'm clarifying here, I'm clarifying to Alex. I'm not talking about headcap guy. I'm saying the guy I have associated in my head with 9 to 5er is the headcap guy who fought the Toji duplicate. I'm saying I recognize Habara as that guy from the soda conversation in the hallway with Geto and that woman. I'm saying that I don't know who that is. I don't know why that character matters so much to 9 to 5er. And yes, I know he's dead, and the best thing I can do to respect the dead is to remember their names. I've been calling him 9 to 5er for over a year now. He is 9 to 5er. I'm sorry. Might as well put that on his gravestone. Otherwise, we have, 5 more episodes to go. I can't believe, or I'm not gonna think that we're gonna finish this off with a multi-episode fight with Mahito. Mahito is super annoying. He's hard to kill. He's funny sometimes. Like I said, he had some real bangers there, right before the fight started, and then he pulled out that guy from season 1 that Yuji had a friendship with, that then he killed his mother and then killed him in front of Yuji. And it's like, dude, that's not cool. I know that I seem really distant to these characters, but I cared about that relationship, and I was really pissed off when he killed that guy's mom. And then he just, like, makes a hand puppet of him and stabs him in the hand. It's like, if that was anybody else, that might have been funny. In this moment, nope. You gotta kick your ass again. So, I don't know. I really want us to get past the Mojito thing. I understand that Mojito is like the last of our initial character gang to get over before we go into Ghetto and Ghetto's brain, I guess. But I really want us to get to the Ghetto's brain shit, because those two girls that died a couple episodes ago, to Sakuna, they reminded me how much I care about Ghetto and seeing that character arc put down, right? I want Ghetto to be dead. I don't know how to say this properly. I don't want him to be dead. I just don't want a brain riding his corpse and representing him. I want Ghetto to be put to rest. I guess that's the best way to say that. Anyway, I think that's all of my thoughts on this episode. I know I rambled into places where rambling wasn't necessary, and I said little in the places where reaction was probably best. So, I'll consider this one an episode where I've done a shit job. But, yeah, I got nothing else to say here. Once again, I have been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?